Fox 12 is also tracking the vaccine for you tonight, and we are getting a closer look at what goes into deciding who will be next in line to get the vaccine.
Today, the Vaccine Advisory Committee came out with their recommendations that will now go to the governor's office, and not everybody's thrilled with the order. Fox 12's Camilla Ortiz gives us a look at some of their decisions.
Today, we got a glimpse of just how hard the job of that 27-person committee is, tasked with deciding who in Oregon gets the next doses. In today's meeting, I heard a lot of back and forth, a lot of adding, then deleting, but ultimately the committee did come up with the next priority group that includes more than 1 million Oregonians. The frustration,
we always wait till the really last minute to agree on something,
was palpable.
It's just so hard, very, very challenging.
Thursday's Oregon Vaccine Advisory Committee meeting running longer than 2 hours as the 27 members scrambled to vote on who should get the vaccine next, with the January 31st deadline quickly approaching. Here's what they came up with. After all the senior groups become eligible, including those 65 and up starting February 28th, committee members are recommending that people ages 16 to 64 with pre-existing conditions, frontline essential workers, people in custody, and people living in low-income housing come next in line. That's an estimated 1.2 million people.
You all could put this forward as a group, but I also want to be transparent. It's a very large group. So at some point, somebody is going to be needing to make decisions on how to operationalize this.
That was Public Health Director Rachel Banks. She's not the only one with concerns.
We'd like to see the people with the most contact get some vaccines before people who are able to stay at home and shelter away from the public.
Dan Clay is president of the union representing food and commercial workers in Oregon and Southwest Washington.
It's really tough on them to be called essential, but not be treated like they're essential.
He told me he wishes more protections came sooner for essential workers like grocery store employees and was hoping to see the CDC vaccine recommendations followed. Here's what those look like next to the Oregon Committee's suggestions for comparison. National experts say people 75 and up and frontline essential workers should get immunized next. Then people 65 to 74 and those younger with high-risk medical conditions. The general public would come after that. Committee members also spent a long time discussing whether or not to include Black, Indigenous, and people of color as a separate priority group. That was the initial intent, but the Oregon Health Authority advised that prioritizing service based on race or ethnicity would actually violate state law. So the committee included a statement that gives local health authorities the flexibility to identify and then prioritize different groups of people. Reporting in Northeast Portland, Camilla Ortiz, Fox 12 Oregon.